Right. Okay, so you know, we were down here a while ago hanging out at the big music awards gig that the Weekly's running. So now we're back. Okay, tonight they're awarding the awards, and we've had a chance to bump across somebody who's really neat, somebody who's really special, and somebody who, how should we say, at a really important juncture in their life. Now, you don't know her yet, but you're about to meet her. Her name's Deborah, and she's here tonight, how should we say, making some old friends and hanging out with a bunch of the homies and all that stuff. So what brings you down to the Fenix tonight? Why are you here?
Besides the free drinks.
Of course.
To get inspired, to hear new music, to see friends, to support the scene.
So now, you have a lot of history in terms of the local music environment and a lot of the bands and that sort of thing. Talk to me a little bit about the past and where you've been, and again, like some of your pals who are down here.
Sure. I just retired from my position as the director of the Pacific Northwest chapter of the Grammys, or the Recording Academy, just recently, like as in a couple weeks ago. So
Wow.
I haven't had much time to actually explore what those new possibilities are. They keep coming at me, which is great, but my main goal is to just rest from that and regenerate. It's been a real fun ride building this support and this core of this music community here and bringing people together. So tonight, coming down here, you know, it's great to support those folks that I've supported all along, those bands, and I've seen them grow and develop to the point maybe that they are getting recognized tonight or not, so that's a really exciting thing. And just like the band that, I don't know if you can hear that right now, that's playing, I would have never probably come across them had I not, you know, been at a function like this that just brings people together. You know, whether it's good or bad or well produced or not well produced, still there's always music happening that's very inspiring. And right now they have, I think, a cellist playing and stuff like that that's unique and interesting, and that Seattle that feels really like cutting edge that's happening right now, so that's cool. It's about the mission, and the mission of what I was accomplishing in that position is no different than I'm still going to work for that mission, and that is to better the lives of musicians and music in Seattle in particular, but the Northwest, because that's where I live, that's where I'm going to continue to live. I'm never leaving Seattle. My husband's a musician. In fact, I met my husband in the Rocket newspaper 11 years ago as I was a drummer looking for a band, and he was trying to date the guitarist of this band at the time, and did the audition, got the gig, and then we met and we got married, and we've been together 11 years. So I'm saying, I'm here. I'm part of the scene. I'm a musician myself, and looking forward to playing some music.
So now, you touched on something that's very interesting to a lot of the people that we share stuff with, which is plateaus and moments in time when you find yourself either looking for a new challenge or having accomplished something or these sorts of things. Is it fair to say that sometimes in life, taking the time to actually slow down and actually maybe get bored is something that's worthwhile? Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to slow down?
I would never be bored. It's just not possible for me to be bored. But you need to just stop. You need to get off the merry-go-round. And I am a person that can handle so much, huge capacity of multitasking or whatever. I had 5 states to deal with and every genre of music that you can deal with.
Wearing out those shoes.
Yeah, and everyone that knows me would be able to say that. So it's kind of surprising that, if you're able to just say, I'm done. I need to recharge and regenerate and close that chapter of my life and figure out what's next. And I have no doubt that inspiration is going to come, and I just need to pay attention to it. So it's not being bored, more as paying attention to what's next.
See, this is personally exciting because, again, what I run into is so I mentor a lot of young people, and one of the things we talk about is the path to employment and how you go about being ready to work labor and all of this stuff. And one of the things that's kind of exciting for us is when we do get a chance to bump across accomplished professionals who, how shall we say, have had a chance to, again, set some high goals, obtain them, and then reload and rearm.
Yeah.
So, and that's basically where you're at, huh?
Right, that is where I'm at, and I think I was saying to you earlier, what's next may make me feel like I want to throw up. It may make me feel really uncomfortable and really scared, and it might be following that artistic path. And that is the artist's dilemma, of course. If anybody that's artistic, how do you pay the bills and do your art, and how do you have the time? And you are what you practice. So if you don't take the time to practice and discover and feel like, hey, is this something I want to do 8 hours, 12 hours, 10 hours of my day or not? And and you have to work your way towards that. I mean, some people are fortunate to just get that instant fulfillment, creative fulfillment, and financial fulfillment. But people have to take, the crappy jobs or whatever. That they have to still have their vision, and you have to define that goal and eliminate things that aren't part of that plan. So when some great opportunity comes up, you might have to say no because it's not part of your vision, So that's what I'm kind of exploring right now is what's my vision, what's next.
Well, sure, because of course one of the things that's happened is, as any successful professional, she's left the gig, and of course now a bunch of her pals have taken a look and said, woo, amazing talent available, gosh, I want her on my team. And of course, one of the things you need to be cautious of is taking the time to be selective about these sorts of things and all of this, because again, there's only one of her, and there's only so much of her to go around, and there's a lot of projects that she would, how should we say, be helpful at. Okay.
I would be helpful.
So, okay, you're somebody who would be qualified for me to ask these kinds of questions. So all right, successful bands, artists, performers. Let's talk a little bit about some of the traits that you found in the past that were consistent amongst those that performed at a level that drew, where they grew and that sort of thing. Talk to me about that.
Artists that have not only something to say, but they're truthful. They're speaking truth. They're not trying to be something. They just are, and they have a way to say it, and they're unique. And they're okay with that. They're okay that they don't sound like this band or that band, or they're not trying to be a copy of. They create something that's maybe new or different or a new take on something. Those are the bands that have something to offer that people get attracted to that, and they go, I haven't heard that before. That's inspiring, and it's genuine, and you're talented.
Yep.
Okay, you can be genuine all you want, but if what you're trying to do, if the fans aren't appreciating that because you can't sing in tune, or, if it's a punk band, that doesn't matter. Maybe that's okay for that genre. But if you really can't play your instrument, or, the drummer's speeding and everybody's in different, time, whatever, they're not really together, and they're not really that serious, really. That's okay because people have to practice and people have to grow and people have to get better.
Yep.
But the bands that they really know where they're at, I think, that are serious, and they know that they're just starting out. They don't expect somebody to walk on their door and knock on their door, show up at their show and say, hey, I want to give you a record deal. Number one, because they know that doesn't happen.
Right.
Because that's not the industry. So people that know the industry, know their craft, this is a business. It's a business. Pure and simple, and then there's the art. And if you're going to do this line of business, I suppose, if you're going to be in this, you have to know about it, and you have to study it, and you have to keep up with it. You have to know what you're into, as well as constantly, you're never there. No musician will ever be there, will ever be at some point where they can just say, okay, wow, I'm there.
I'm done.
I've done it. There's no better that I can be. There's always better that you can be. No art piece, no music, no song is ever done, no painting is ever really done. So
it's the curse of the creative, really.
It is a curse of the creative. If you don't feel that
way, then
you just have to be okay with that. You have to say, this is as good as I can get it. And if people don't react to it, that's the other thing. How do bands know if they're good or not? I'd say if people don't react to it, if you can just take that alone, if people aren't attracted to it, if people aren't excited about it, if they're not saying anything to you except for your friends that are like, yeah, that's great, they're always going to say that to you.
It's great, but no, I don't need a CD.
Exactly.
Classic words.
You will know these things. These are the indicators. People buy your music and people show up to your shows.
Yep.
And that's how you're going to know that you're definitely touching people.
Wow. I got to tell you that you've taken the time tonight to talk with us. We're down here again. We're in Pioneer Square. We're over by the Fenix. It's the big music awards gig and all this stuff, the Weekly doing their part.
Oh, wait.
that you've taken the time to impart so much. Again, I know you might be looking for inspiration right now, but I will say this. You've inspired us, and some of the data and the information that you bring is so incredibly valuable. We appreciate very much that you take the time to talk with us.
Well, thank you.
Whatever you go to do, if you're going to do some art or make some music or something, you make sure you let us know, because we're going to come stand there in the crowd and yell.
Wow! Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much,
Thank
Deborah.
you.
Hey, we're stepping out. We're going to leave now. Talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.